Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ask Digit, where you ask the questions and we find the answers. And today's question is, surprise, surprise, about the new iPhones. We have heard of the launch of the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6s Plus, and rumors have it that they are going to come to India before Diwali. So we think Apple is trying to target the holiday sales in India. And why shouldn't they? I mean, the phone was announced a few days ago, and immediately the next day pre-orders went up in India, where people were ready to pay over $1 lakh to get the phone first. So clearly the demand for the iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus is very high, right?
Of course, it's an iPhone, you know. The demand has always been high, and it's...
First of all, we know for a fact that a lot of people are going to buy the iPhone. It's more of a status symbol in India than a phone. But for those of the consumers that actually consider it to be a phone, let's start by talking about who should upgrade and who shouldn't, and why.
So yeah, the first person, I mean, I don't think it's an upgrade per se for iPhone users. So if you have anything below the iPhone 5 or below, yeah, it makes for a good upgrade right now. This would be the right time to upgrade. You get iOS 9, you get into Apple's, newly revamped OS structure, you get into Force Touch and everything. So you, in a way, take, the step into the future of what Apple is going to be. So yeah, for them, it will be an upgrade. But for iPhone 5s users, I think the only reason to take the iPhone 6s would be if you want a better camera. You know, a 12 MP eyesight camera.
Or a bigger screen.
Yeah, or a slightly bigger screen, yeah, unless you're going to the 6 Plus. But I don't think 3D Force Touch is really the right reason to...
So if you're rocking an iPhone 5s, you still have a 64-bit architecture chipset, so you're sorted with everything that Apple will do in the future. You're still going to get iOS 9. Are there any limitations on the features? Because we've known that, you know, the current generation and the flagship get all the features, but it doesn't.
Yeah, so I think there'll be some limitations on the features, of course, but again, I don't think Apple has got enough revolutionary features onto the new iPhone that you really care about it. Of course, you will not get 3D Force Touch on it, but again, that's not a feature. I think that's not a feature for which you buy a phone.
Also, coming to the fact that, fine, so if an iPhone user is upgrading, but what about if someone's coming from an Android background? We've seen that there are a lot of competing Android phones. We're not going to speak about those, but let's say if you're using X Android phone, should you upgrade? So could you just quickly run through 4 or 5 flagships that are out there which deserve to be upgraded from?
Yeah, a very easy way to explain that would be if you have a last generation flagship, then it's a very good upgrade. An iPhone, the iPhone 6s especially, is a very good upgrade. If you have a current generation flagship like say a LG G4 or
the S6, S6 Edge.
I mean, we're gonna get really beat up for this, but yeah, Samsung's flagships right now. Yeah. If you have those, yeah, you don't really get an upgrade with the iPhone 6s.
So you're better off sticking to the current flagship Androids that you have.
Definitely.
Also, another thing coming to the iPhone is that if you have the current generation, which is the 6 or the 6 Plus, it makes no sense to go for the new ones, right?
Not at all.
Also, coming to the fact that for a lot of people, the 16 GB iPhone makes sense because it's an entry-level iPhone. It is just at the tip of their budget to buy it. But with the new iPhones boasting of 4K recording and so many more new features, don't you think 16 GB should kind of be banned? And if someone is genuinely listening, please explain it to them that 16 GB.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think 16 GB should be banned from mobile phones, not just iPhones, from Android as well. I mean, 32 GB is the minimum you need. It's not just because of things like 4K recording. It's also because you're streaming stuff. You want people to, stream their music, stream content onto their phone, and this and that, download all the content onto the phone. You need that space. An SD card will always affect your performance in that case. So yeah, I definitely.
So if you had to put it in, if you had to just summarize and say, yes, if you have X devices, you need to upgrade, which one? Just name 4 devices which are very popular in the market, and if people own these, they should upgrade.
So I'm guessing an iPhone user will automatically come from that flagship level. So yeah, if you have a HTC One M9 Plus, it's a very good upgrade. If you have a LG G3, it's going to be a pretty good upgrade. If you have Samsung's older flagships like the S5 or Note 4, the iPhone 6s or 6s Plus will be pretty good updates. And apart from that, I think the fourth phone that I would pick would be the iPhone 5 and below, like I said. So I don't think there are many other Android phones that really need to be, the user doesn't really need to be told that an iPhone 6s is a update for him. It is a person upgrade for you.
So there you have it. If you're someone who's rocking an iPhone 5 or below that, or any of the Android phones that Prasid mentioned, then you definitely need to upgrade. But if you have any current flagship smartphone in the Android domain, or the iPhone 6 or the 6 Plus, you're better off holding your horses for about 1 year. But the final question, Prasid, you've used both iPhones and a bunch of Android devices. Which one do you prefer? Well, we're going to leave it at a suspense. Thank you very much for watching Ask Digit. If you want to know which operating system Prasid prefers, let us know in the comment section below. We will argue on this on another date. I prefer Android. It's a secret. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in another episode. Goodbye.
Block his mic. We can't see it. You can't talk anymore.